So, there I was, sitting outside a bank in a car that wasn't mine, waiting for an old dude I'd met 90 minutes ago to go and deposit a hunk of cash into my bank account. I'm just hoping, praying, naively trusting that he was gonna do what he said he was gonna do. So, across the street, my mom's sitting in our car with a different old dude in the driver's seat. By the looks of it, my mom and I were kidnapped and held against our will by a two-man gang of old dudes. Hello, what other conclusions could I draw? Because there was no way in hell that this scenario could possibly end well. This was either going to be the craziest story of dumb, divine luck that I would get to tell for the rest of my life, or my mom and I were the biggest idiots gambling in a league so far out of our stratosphere, and we might not get to see the end of this day. Everybody has a dirty little secret. Mine had 4 wheels, no bathroom, and the nerve to call itself temporary. I'm Mika, and this is Accidentally Homeless, where survival has jokes, rock bottom has wheels, and the scenic route goes straight through hell. This episode, shit gets real. We grab control by the bra straps and decide to sell the only thing keeping us alive, the car. The problem? We've barely got enough fuel to pull it off, got nowhere to go if it doesn't sell, a string of dealerships that keep telling us no, and a 24-hour deadline to do it in. If this works, we get a second chance. And if it doesn't, well, you could probably guess what happens then. So, it's Monday morning. I've managed to convince my mom that selling the car is a good idea. We've made up our minds. My crazy little idea is now real, and this shit is happening. There's no slow dance, foreplay, easing into this. Today's the day we sell the car, our only asset, our home. There's literally pressure from every angle. We're low on fuel, low on time, low on options. And we've made a declaration. The sun doesn't set today without us having sold this car. Which is unwise because life rule 101, people can't play God. Just how doctors don't promise outcomes. They say they'll do everything they can to get a good outcome. But they don't promise. And we just basically went ahead and promised ourselves a good outcome. The gamble started the moment we turned the key in the ignition and started driving to our storage unit in Somerset West. Because we were basically driving on our make it to the BP garage reserves fuel, which would give us 6 kilometers max. And the storage unit was at least 10 kilometers away. So this plan could go to shit at any moment. We literally made it to the storage unit on prayer alone. So first step, strip the car of the life that we've been living inside of it. That means that everything has to go. Any evidence that this car was ever a home. So now the car is empty. We've cleaned it up as best we can, and it is ready to sell. But the second we shut that storage unit, reality hits. This either works or it doesn't. But it has to work, and it has to work today. There's no, let's think about it. If we don't succeed, we'll just try again. Motherfucker, no! We can't come back tomorrow. I mean, from our POV, there was no tomorrow without a successful today. And this is where things took a turn because we had already started rolling forward. There was no going back. We had basically committed to a 50-50 toss-up between success or failure. And really, it could go either way. But we were hedging our bets on winning. So we entered this long, busy street lined on both sides with car dealerships. I mean, this road stretched from one end of town to the other. So we figured that if we had a shot at selling this car, somewhere on this never-ending road, there's a dealership that'll take our car. Thing is, we didn't have a brand new car it was at least a couple years old, had a few dings and some scratches on it, because the old lady who'd owned it previously turned her rear view and side mirrors, just turned them up, and just put pedal to the metal and said, "Fuck it, I'm old, road rules are suggestions," and didn't look back. The car also had an automatic gearbox that had basically had enough of the old lady's abuse and would act up accordingly sometimes. Now, the problem with putting an automatic gearbox in a 1-liter engine is that an automatic gearbox demands power, and a 1-liter engine rolls backwards on a 5-centimeter incline. So, yeah. And we knew that these could be sticking points in selling the car. So first stop, a dealership where the decision dude wasn't even there. Like, hello, it's Monday morning and you're the head salesman at a dealership. I mean, aren't car salesmen like hungry, like vultures? What could the dude possibly be doing other than selling cars? Anyway, that was a dead end. So already, this is just turning out to be such a great start. So we try across the street. Now this dude test drives the car, comes back, and the first thing he says is, I don't like the gearbox. Motherfucker, I knew it. So, another no. So we keep driving up the road, burning through our fuel, but all we see are dealerships with new model cars. And we needed a proper secondhand car dealership. And then we found a place that looked like it sold older cars. It was like a sign. Third time lucky. So my mom goes in to talk to the only person at the dealership, an older salesman who looked like he'd been there since the invention of the internal combustion engine. And I'm waiting in the car with a pit of anxiety in my stomach. The kind of anxiety that would only go away if we accomplished our mission. But I knew we were going to start running out of dealerships soon. So I'm like, let me send up an emergency prayer real quick. And I go, universe, please just let this work. Please just have our backs. If there was ever a time for y'all to pull a Hail Mary, now would be that time. So finally, my mom comes back. And the woman's shoulders are more deflated than our bank account, which is saying a lot. It's not good news. The salesman basically said that the car's too old to finance, and unfortunately, he can't help us. Our whole plan is just crumbling in front of us. We've already lost, and there's no way that this situation is going to turn itself around. And we just sat there in the parking lot, nothing to say to each other. So I figured, okay, I'll start the car and keep going on this stupid mission. And right as we're about to pull out the lot, the salesman comes running up to us. He's just miraculously remembered that he has a friend/customer who could be a potential buyer for our car. And suddenly, we'd gone from, this is absolutely not working, to, holy shit, is that a Snowball's chance in hell I smell? This might actually work. Like, we were down and out, but wait, are we back in this? Hope was back in the game. And our crazy little theoretical idea that depended on a million little variables going right actually had a chance. Our lives were just hanging in the balance here, but by all accounts, you take your time remembering the potential knockout solution to our problem. Turns out, the salesman's friend was looking to buy a small car for his granddaughter, and our car might just be perfect. So he called him, and the friend said he'll meet us in 10 minutes at the garage across the street. Holy shit. Just when we thought we were done, turns out that emergency prayer I sent up was answered. If that's not divine intervention, I don't know what is. So we're across the street. And now we get to wait. Tense. Watching every car that rolls in. I mean, it probably wasn't more than 5 to 10 minutes, but it felt like forever. Was this for real? Was he going to stand us up? I mean, who knows with these 21st century flaky people? What's going to go wrong and blow up in our faces? Because sadly, that's what we're accustomed to. And then the potential buyer arrived. Now this dude was given legit. Clean-cut old dude who looked like he walked straight out of the previous century where decency lived. Like he was an ex-school principal or somebody's pastor. The kind of man whose firm handshake told the story of his life's morals. So he looks at the car, walks around it, points out dents and scratches, and I'm like, oh Lord, here we go. Not a chance this guy's buying our car. Then out of the blue, he says we should follow him to his auto body shop up the road. So we're like, sure. Meanwhile, I'm like, man, I'm running on fumes here. We can't be driving up and down on the slim chance that he maybe decides to buy the car. I mean, this dude was old school. He did not look like the kind of guy who was in a rush to make a decision. He was going to make a decision only if everything was right and sensible. And he sure as shit wasn't going to buy a hunk of junk. And that's the part where we pray that we're not selling a hunk of junk. I mean, he seemed interested, but he was playing his intention close to the vest. And we wouldn't know until he gave the word. So, there we go. Driving on fumes, just praying that this body shop isn't too far away. I mean, can you imagine? We run out of fuel while we're trying to sell this car in front of a potential buyer. I would have died. So, finally, we make it to the body shop, and the body shop dude inspects the car. I mean, we still have no idea if we're winning or wasting time here. Again, it feels like an eternity goes by while the men huddle and discuss what is essentially our immediate futures. And now, to make it worse, this old dude has decided to call a friend who just happens to be a mechanic to come and inspect the car mechanically. So 3 more decades go by in the span of 30 minutes. And finally, the number on all the inspections comes back. $6,000 worth of repairs on the car. And then, casually, the old dude says, yeah, all right, I'll take the car. But I'm going to deduct the repairs from your asking price. Holy shit. I'm just trying my darndest over here to force the corners of my mouth down so nobody sees me looking like a fucking Cheshire cat. My mom and I pretend to take a moment to discuss. We agree. Let's be honest, right? We didn't have the luxury to negotiate, and we didn't care anymore. We just wanted it to be done. It's happening. Curveball. Apparently, now we needed to go to the licensing department so he could check for fines and make sure that we're not selling a stolen car and that it's actually registered in my name. More driving, more waiting, more time. At one point, he noticed a slightly cracked light, and we were just bracing ourselves for this whole deal to fall apart. But luckily, his mechanic friend stepped in and let it slide. This dude was putting us through every freaking hoop. And all we wanted was to close the sale. We were so close, but so far away. Finally, everything checked out. Because, hello, we're not fraudulent criminals. Of course it would work out. It's close the sale time. To the bank we go. So I drove with the old dude, and my mom drove in our car with his mechanic friend. So I gave the old dude my banking details, and he went inside the bank. Old dude's in the bank, and I'm sitting in his car thinking, what the hell is wrong with you? Why'd you let him go inside the bank alone? This is it. We either get paid or we get screwed. So time passes, and eventually the old dude comes back. He gives me $5,000 cash, like we agreed, and the receipt for the rest of the funds transferred into my bank account. And just like that, it was done. The car was sold. The crazy idea worked. After everything, it actually worked. So we asked them to drop us at our storage unit. You know, trying to play it cool like we had some place to be. And for some reason, the buyer dude kept asking if we were sure that we were going to be okay. Like, he sensed that we were in a tight spot and he wanted to help somehow. We assured him that we were fine, but, I mean, really? He'd had no idea how much he'd actually helped us. We got exactly what we wanted. And we were like cats playing with yarn rolled in friggin' butter. I mean, it was wild because I mean, the stakes had just been so high all day that it almost didn't feel real, but we actually did it. We pulled off the impossible. Like, who sets out in the morning to sell the car they're living in, paperwork and money done, and actually does it? We did. The universe had our backs, and we did it. But even though we'd sold the car, we were still living in the in-between. I mean, we didn't actually have a place to go yet. The real money hadn't cleared yet, and we were waiting on the confirmation that it had. So we kept checking, refreshing, and just hoping that it actually went through and that this wasn't all a sick joke. I mean, there's still risk hanging over everything. The win was real, but it was fragile. And this was the part where our minds just started playing tricks on us. Did the buyer actually deposit the money into our bank account, or did he just go into the bank, pretend, and simply pay us $5,000 for shits and giggles? So there we were, still waiting for the other shoe to drop, because we never actually left fight or flight. Did we just get played? I guess we'll find out. Now listen, this was a situation that deserved some celebrating. I mean, even though we didn't know if we were plain old dancing or dancing on our graves yet. So we booked a hotel for the night. I mean, we didn't have time for Airbnb approvals or silly little key handovers. We needed convenience and ease. So we got an Uber and headed to our hotel for the night. And this is where, for the first time in a really, really long time, we actually had ourselves some fun. So we arrived and we dropped our reality with our bags. And then we pretended. So we told the check-in staff that we were tourists. I was in town shooting a film and decided to surprise my mom with a girls' night in the hotel. They totally ate it up. I mean, have you heard what I sound like? And when we finally got into our hotel room, man, it's really the little things that hit. The bed. You know those real thick, feather down, 600 thread count hotel bedding? Yeah. The bathroom. Oh my God. The shower. Never have I ever been more attracted to a shower ever. And space. So much space. I mean, I could stand in one corner of the room, have my own thoughts, and not hear my mom's thoughts for once. Baby, did we go all out. Now, that's one thing about us, right? When we suffer like it's the Great Depression of 1920-something. But when we live well, we live like Pablo Escobar's fucking hippos. Now, the first thing you do when you get out of living in your car, you find a shower. And then you scrub. And you scrub until you reach the core of your soul. And then you keep scrubbing until you forget how to spell the word homeless. And that's what we did. And then we ordered room service and ate our body weights in burgers and fries until we passed out face first into our fluffy beds. One thing though, we were still waiting for the bulk of the money to clear. It's 11 p.m. and my bank account was skinnier than a celebrity on Ozempic. 11:05, 11:15, 11:25, 11:30, 11:50. I don't know, man. 11:55. Cha-ching, bitch. Money's in. And then we slept. Deeply. Horizontally. And we actually slept for the first time in weeks. The next morning, we went straight into phase 2. We Ubered to the rental car place, got our new car, and stepped right back into our new old life. But this time was different. This time, we had money. And we knew exactly what we were walking into. So we stocked up on some winter essentials, thicker blankets, more socks, thermal clothing, etc. I mean, look, we knew it was still car life, right? Still uncertain, still absurd. But now it was resourced and funded. And that was the shift. Because we went from putting out fires to actually making moves. Like being on a plane that's maybe going down, but you're in economy class, which means that the plane's probably going down and you've got no legroom. But the people in Economy Plus had extra legroom. The plane was probably still going down, but at least they had extra legroom. And that was us. What we had now was car life with a little bit of leverage. So we headed back to our beloved old parking lot. Home, sweet parking lot. In a new car with a new outlook. We knew how to do this, but now we're doing it better. None of that blind leading the deaf BS anymore. We knew what to expect, and now we had the money to do it more comfortable. Listen, okay? We pulled into that parking lot and our car neighbors were like, hot damn, these bitches got a new car and they're back? Damn straight we were back. We were back for homeless upper middle class and no more homeless broke bitch. We may have won the battle, but we were yet to win the war. Next time, things are actually going suspiciously well, which, if you've been following this story, should immediately concern you.